We're very thankful to the Robert H. Jackson Center for allowing us to use this venue. It's perfect for us. Next, and he was in the Army. Paul Arnone was in the Navy. Yep. Roland Swanson, raise your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
He is a CB, and he will tell you what a CB does before the end of the day, I'm sure. John Nordine is next, and he's Navy. John, raise your hand. Fletcher Schultz is next. Were you Army, Fletcher?
Army.
Army, okay.
Bill Graves, Navy. This is Dave Riotto, and he was Navy. You know, Navy outnumbers everybody.
I'm a Navy guy.
Uh-oh. And Ed Sunner came with us today. He was not with us at the museum, but he would love the Army. And he is Army. So these are our honored guests. Please give them a round.
I think it's up.
Bob Swift, I served with the 8th Air Force, 458th Bomb Group. I was a bombardier on a B-24. I got in all of 3 missions, and didn't even into Bomb Berlin, and didn't get back. I happened to have a Caterpillar, which is a pretty good club to belong to.
The Caterpillar Club are people that had to use a parachute to save their lives. What he's telling you is he was shot down on the Berlin mission, B-24 Liberator. Amazing. So you probably saw these, you probably remember those. Absolutely. Wow. Unbelievable. Yes, sir.
Ralph Robinson, served with the 202nd Military Police Unit over in the Army of Occupation in Vienna, Austria. And one of the things, benefits of being over there, I married my war bride.
Married a girl over there and brought her home. A lot of guys will say they captured a prisoner and brought her back. A lot of guys did that, yeah. And you got to remember, at the end of World War II, Eisenhower said no fraternization. You guys can't fraternize with the girls. 18-year-old guys, 18-year-old girls, you're going to keep them apart? Yeah, good luck with that. It lasted a couple months. He said, yeah, forget it. A lot of guys married German girls and brought them back. Yes, sir.
Paul Arnone. I was in the U.S. Navy. Spent 3 years, 2 years of sea duty, both theaters of operations in the Pacific and the Atlantic. Landed on Normandy Beach, Gold Beach, next door to the Omaha Beach on D-Day. Discharged, been married, and had 3 kids, and I'm still here. 93 years old.
I'm Roland Swanson. Some of the people call me Roland from Poland because of the area where I lived. But I'm a U.S. Navy CB. That people want to know what CB is. It's the acronym for when we first went in, we got a little patch on our left sleeve with just the initial CB, standing for Construction Battalion, which would, I guess I would compare with Army Engineers. I served from 43 to 46 and on board a repair ship from 50 to 51. I served in the Pacific, and one of the things that really struck me was when one of my school friends on Beachview Avenue was killed by the Japanese because he was in the 1st Cavalry Division, but his machine gun jammed on Las Negras Island over in the Admiralty Group, And when I saw his marker, it brought home, although I also saw a fella get stabbed in the back on board ship. But these were some of the things that influenced me, and I ended up on Okinawa at the end of World War I. And that year, 50 to 51, I was on an amphibious repair ship out of Little Creek, Virginia. I'm, like the rest of us, pleased to be here, and I think we're all someplace in our 90s.
The construction battalion built everything in the Pacific. They built all the bases, airfields, ports, docks. They built everything. And a lot of it they built from scratch with very little stuff to use. They used ground coral to build airstrips. They were amazing. They built, you would not believe, the stuff that they built, most of it's still there. That's how well it's done.
We went back to Okinawa, my wife and I, and the Kadena Airport is still there.
Still using it.
Route number 1 running north and south.
CB's built
It's
that.
there.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm John Nordine from Warren, Pennsylvania. I was in the Navy. I took my boot training and that up here at Sampson, Lake Geneva. And from there I went back to outgoing unit, and we got shipped down to Bainbridge, Maryland, to Farmers' Mate School. Spent 20 weeks down there in Farmers' Mate School. From there I went down to the Naval Academy at Annapolis, Maryland. And from there I got shipped overseas. I was stationed at the IEA Hospital in Pearl Harbor and worked in the emergency ward there. I probably did more flying than I did on the ship duty. I went over on a ship, but we used to fly to Okinawa and Iwo Jima, pick up patients and that, and bring them back to the hospital. It was a 3,300 bed hospital. It was the largest Navy hospital outside the continental United States. The biggest one in the States is San Diego, California. And if we could help them there in IEA at Pearl Harbor, well, we keep them there, and the doctors and the nurses would take care of them. And if they couldn't help all that much, or if they were too bad, they shipped them to San Diego. But we'd fly at nighttime over there. A lot of those Marines, they hadn't had mail. Sometimes it'd be 2 to 3 months they hadn't had any mail. A lot of those guys, they cracked up. And we have to get them back and, try to help them and take care of them there at the hospital. And so that's where I spent my time.
Remember, they didn't have email back then. They didn't have the internet. Everything was handwritten letters. It'd be months before you even heard anything from your kid or from your parents. So mail, as it is still today, it's the most important part of any soldier's life. That's right. Getting mail. That's huge. So we used to see people a lot of times wouldn't get mail in basic training. Their parents wouldn't write to them, or they'd never get mail. We'd feel so bad. Everybody else is all excited they got mail. Here, these guys didn't get anything, and they'd shuffle back to their barracks. Guys would actually tell their wives or girlfriends or mothers to write to that guy, write him a letter, and they'd be thrilled. Mail was huge, very, very huge back then.
That's right, that's right. So my name is Fletcher Schultz, and I took training 650 on field artillery, and we had to learn how to do all the shooting with it in the artillery. But anyway, we went overseas, and we got there a little bit later, I guess. So they transferred us to the MP to take care of the military traffic road, and it was quite interesting. I was doing road duty on across the Rhine River, and there's a convoy of English comes through, and I was already lined up for our own troops to travel through. I said, pull over that other side road, you're not. They said, the war is over. I said, you can plant him any damn place you want to put through. So that was in my business there. Thank you.
Can you imagine what a feeling that was to know that the war is over? You might actually survive. There's a lot of stories. You can do the reading. There were some amazing parties when they found out the war was over. A lot of people didn't believe it was true, but it was. Amazing day. VE Day.
My name is Bill Graves, and I was in the Navy. I spent 2 years in the Navy, not to spend a lot of time talking about that, but I had 2 years in the Navy and was all sea duty aboard the same ship. I was on a repair ship. At the time, we joined Halsey's 3rd Fleet in the Pacific, and we were doing the island hopping from Hawaii over towards Japan into Tokyo Bay. We ended up in Tokyo Bay, and I was within a half a block of the Missouri when the Japanese signed the peace treaty aboard the Missouri. At the time they signed that treaty, the sky was practically blotted out by all the aircraft that were in the sky because they didn't trust them. They were still doubtful about their surrender. And anyhow, it was interesting at that time, into the Tokyo Bay, it was the largest collection of ships that the world had ever seen or will ever see again. There was over 250 ships in Tokyo Bay at that time. And that's it.
What an amazing time in history. He was actually at the signing of the surrender of the Japanese. In those planes, 1,500 American aircraft timed it to come over to make sure the Japanese understood. They don't sign, we're going to bomb their country into dust. And that's what that was. That was a show of force. 250 plus ships in the bay, including our heavies, all our big battleships. And it was just to kind of reinforce to the Japanese that, yeah, you better surrender. It'd be best for you. And to somebody who was there to see that, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Dave Riallo, United States Navy. I look at this crowd and I see people who were my age when I joined up. I was a junior in high school, third year in high school. When I enlisted, I was 17. I served 2 years aboard 3 ships, a seagoing tug, an LST, and the last ship was a troop ship in which we sailed from New York City with young, fresh troops going over to Europe as occupation troops and bringing back the veterans who had served there for many months. It was a great time, but a sad time as well.
My name is Ed Zunner. My war started in June of my sophomore year. I received my greetings in September. I left in the Army, 5 weeks of training, and the war began in Europe for me, from Le Havre, France, all the way to Nuremberg, Germany, 5 days before my 19th birthday. And that's where I was wounded. The war ended for me. I come back to the States and spent about 9 months in the hospital, and then I went back to active duty. The thing I could advise most to you young ladies and gentlemen, get as much schooling as you possibly can. And then when you haven't made up your mind if you want to go into service, as I have a granddaughter did the same thing. She started as a loadmaster, and now she's an instructor for drone planes. So this is her way of going on to college. Thank you.
I am unopposed. I went to Sampson. Then I had the good fortune of being sent to Henry Ford's Aircraft School in Dearborn, Michigan. In Dearborn, Michigan. And from there I was sent to another school for the Navy, and I took welding and all that, and then I was taught diving. That's where the really screwed our head on, I used to say. It was weird, I'll tell you that, but I learned to weld underwater. So that's what the Navy taught me. I went to South Pacific on a two-pan sport out of Frisco, next to Alcatraz, under the Golden Gate Bridge, on a two-pan sport with 5,000 troops on it. I landed in Port Moresby, Hollandia, New Guinea. I was assigned to a landing craft that had ramps on the sides, and that we dropped troops with their gear and ammunition and guns, and I watched them go up over the hill, and I will never forget that. I never knew what happened to them. So that's the sad part of the war. Thank you.
One fellow talk about joining at 17. People left high school in World War II in droves to go help fight the war. They were so upset after Pearl Harbor, everybody wanted to do something. There are recorded instances, many recorded instances, of people as young as 13 being in the service.